Alright, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Dash Double, and honors to the elders at GMS who's pushing this truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom. And this is just gonna be a quick video, exhortation that we every day that we wake up, man, we get closer to going home, brothers, man. And it's a good feeling to have, knowing that every day we wake up, we're getting closer and closer to Yahweh Shai's coming, man. Because once our King, gets here on the planet Earth, we're gonna be at peace, man. We're gonna be at ease, and the earth is gonna be at peace and at ease, man. And it's a beautiful feeling waking up knowing that Esau, his time is getting short, man. So we know that Revelation 12:12 is gonna have to, is gonna have to come to pass pretty soon, man. That he has a short time, barely paraphrasing it, that he has a short time, so he's gonna come down with great wrath, But as we get as the end comes, man, we get closer and closer to where we're gonna we have a due date, man, out of this hellhole, out of this prison, man. And as you can see in the picture, it shows that Kratos, God of War, in chains, man, and we're in these chains of darkness, and not just in the chains of darkness, we're in the chains of these heathen, man. These heathens has put their grasp and their hold upon us, man. But slowly and surely, they're unraveling, man. And they're letting loose, man. But when Yahweh Shai comes, that's when these shackles, when these chains are gonna be fully let loose, man. And we're gonna finally be free, man. And this depicts the physical hell that we go through and the spiritual hell that we go through, man. In this damn wicked ass kingdom. But I just wanted to bring out a few scriptures. This is Psalms chapter 37 verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth, man. And we're waiting each day. We're waiting for our Lord to come back, man. Because as people are suffering on this side, and as the 2/3 and people are suffering, man, the elect, they're rejoicing, man, because they know what comes after this, man. I don't, barely paraphrasing, Jacob is the Esau is the end, Jacob's the beginning that followeth. Because there's after this, man, after this kingdom, man, it's Yahweh Shai's kingdom, man, our King's kingdom, and our King is gonna make sure the planet Earth is put back in its rightful stead, man. He's gonna make sure the earth is flourishing and being nurtured like it's supposed to, man. It's like taking care of a garden, man. If you're slightly lazy and don't know what you're doing, man, the garden can very easily can fail, man. But Yahweh Shai is the careful and nurturing gardener, man. He's coming back to restore the planet Earth, man. In a good way, man. These damn devils has polluted, has tainted the earth in a bad way, has tainted the garden in a bad way, to where there's no good fruit that comes from it, man. This is a place of death and despair, man. But the elect, they have hope in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, man. And he's coming back to restore it. This is this is Psalms chapter 37 verse 13. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, man. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sees these damn devils, man. He sees these elites wherever that they are, you know, and soon they're gonna run to their bunker, man. Brothers, and we're gonna, whoever gets chosen, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's will that it be us, man, But soon as we get beamed up into the fathership, man, we're gonna be looking down at these devils, man. We're gonna see the lake of fire, and we're gonna see these damn devils running back and forth in their bunkers, man, until Yahweh Shai sends us down here to put them, to condemn them and put them in captivity, man. But we're gonna have X-ray vision, and we're gonna see what these damn devils are doing in their bunkers, man. We're gonna be watching over them as the angels are watching over them, man. But we're gonna be up there looking down and seeing where these damn devils are at, watching them in their bunkers, man. Tormenting, probably tormenting them in their sleep, man, because they know what's coming, man. They know what's coming, So, maybe even shooting lasers at them, man, while they're sleeping, while they're doing whatever, man. They're gonna be getting tormented in these bunkers, man, because they're gonna have fear, man, for what's to come, man, because they know that they're not gonna rise from the ashes like a phoenix, man. And it's funny, man, because these damn devils really think they're gonna rise from the ashes, man, which is hilarious. It's almost a good joke that these damn devils have this have came out their mouths, man. It makes me laugh, on the inside though, because they really think that they're gonna rise from the ashes, man. Which is blasphemy, man. Because it goes against the scriptures. And this is Psalms chapter 94, verse 14. For the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance, man. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is not going to do away. As he going to do away with some of the 2/3, man. He's not going to do away with all of Israel, man. He's gonna destroy the 2/3, but then the 1/3 is gonna be saved, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has a elect group of people in the nation of Israel that's gonna be the civilians and the citizens of the kingdom of heaven, man. And each day we get closer to it, man, as these people suffer. I'm in Texas right now. People are suffering. I think I seen a article of a blackout, man. People have lost their power. Some people have got into very bad car accidents, man. On the road, man. And the governor, this shows you how stupid and dumb people are, man. Because it's like they can't keep their ass at home. They want to be out, partying, drinking, always on the damn scene. They fail to keep their ass at home, man. The governor just said, stay your ass inside, man. But as well as he said that, he said, but he knows that people won't listen, and they'll be ripping and running either way, even though the roads is icy, man. Which is it causes a lot of people to get into car wrecks, to have to hydroplane, man. To have the wheels slip on the ice, man. So these people, man, they're retarded, man. And to hell with these people, man, because they don't listen, man. That's how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai feels about the 2/3, man. He'll tell them to try to follow the commandments, to do what's right, man. But the 2/3, man, they want to do what they want to do, man. Which is gonna lead them to ultimately going down to Egypt and taking that MOTB, man. for food, man. Even though Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said, trust in him, man, and not to take the MOTB, you know. But they're gonna want to do what they want to do, man, you know, and that's what's gonna cause them to be put into straits, man, you know. But back to the point where the chains are slowly unraveling, brothers. And each day we get closer, we get closer to going home, man. This has been a various a lesson learning experience, traumatizing experience to the nation of Israel, man. As the brother said, man, we struggle with trauma back since we was in slavery, man. This is why our parents has done stuff to us. This is why we have taken our frustration out on others, man. It's trauma going all the way back to us being in slavery, us being beat, us being whipped, us being used and abused in slavery, man. And the trauma doesn't go away. It just goes into another generation, into their DNA, man. The frustration, the anger, the worry, but Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has whooped our ass good, man. In this captivity, he has made sure that we get the lesson, man. Even though we cried out, that we understand, man. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has put the belt to our ass, man. In this captivity, man. But slowly he's letting loose, man. Slowly we're about to get out of these chains of darkness, man, and finally be free, man, and finally be let free to play, man. We're gonna play, brothers. And to the sense of we're gonna have the kingdom, man. We're gonna be able to use resources. We're gonna have servants, man. We're not gonna have to pay for somebody to move your couches, man, to rearrange your room, man. It's gonna be free, brothers. It's gonna be free, man. We're gonna have working hands to do whatever we want. If we don't want to lift up a single finger in the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna have to, man. We're gonna have slaves, man. We're gonna have helping hands to do it, man. On this side, we gotta pay somebody to paint your house. You gotta pay somebody to rearrange your living room. You gotta pay somebody to paint your car, man. You gotta pay somebody to mow your lawn. Even though you can do it yourself, but it's convenient to pay somebody to mow your lawn, man. We gotta pay somebody to cut down that big ass tree, in your front yard or backyard. We got to pay somebody to rebuild your damn fence that somebody drove through because they was drinking and driving, man. But sooner or later, man, we're not gonna have to pay for shit. We're gonna be rich, brothers. We're gonna have abundant resources, man. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be made out of resources, man, out of gold, out of amethyst, out of gems and stones, man. Brothers, we're gonna have abundance, man. We're gonna have so much livestock. If our brother want to eat damn steak and chicken all day, man, he can, man, because he's gonna have abundance, man. We're gonna have sheeps, We're gonna have different fruits. We're gonna have vineyards. It's gonna be beautiful, man. Brothers might be trading with each other. A brother might have a whole bunch of vineyards. Another brother might have a whole bunch of sheep and a whole bunch of livestock, cattle, cows. They're trading wine back and forth. Giving it as gifts, man. And if a brother is in need, giving them as gifts, man. We're gonna be giving brothers Edomite slaves, man. You know, just as like they have done our ancestors, man. You know, I'm gonna be breeding the biggest and the strongest. You know, the smartest Edomite, man. To work hard labor jobs, man, to get shit done. You know, because to be honest, man, Edomites they're real good at laborers, man. When they're not lazy, you know, when they're not being lazy, man, they're hard working, you know. But this is what's coming to the nation of Israel, man. You know, and it's gonna be a beautiful time, man. We're gonna finally be free from this hellhole, you know. But that's all I wanted to bring out, man. You know, because this time is coming, man. You know, as you know, our reality is wrapped around Yahweh Shai coming, man, and this kingdom being destroyed, man. And as it is written in the scriptures that this kingdom is gonna be destroyed, and the kingdom of heaven is gonna be is gonna be put on earth through Yahweh Shai. You know that I lost my train of thought, man. But this kingdom is eventually gonna be destroyed, man. You know, and our kingdom is gonna be here on earth, man, with Yahweh Shai, man. When he gets back, you know, this time is coming, brothers. You know, and it's like it kind of feels unreal but real at the same time, because it's like a lot of people don't believe that a UFO, so-called UFO, is gonna pull up and take us, man, and a dark man is gonna pull up and take us, man. You know, a lot of people don't believe this, man, but we do, brothers. We do, man. We believe that Yahweh Shai is gonna come back in a huge fathership that's probably bigger than the earth, man. You know, that you can't see the ends to, man. And take us, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's will, that we be numbered under the elect, man, to be delivered when he shows up, man. You know, that he have mercy upon us, man, because we live in a society that torments us, man. We get no rest here, man. We're not supposed to get rest, but you know, we get no peace, no rest, man. You know, this society is meant to use and abuse us, man. You know, but we're finally gonna get the play, man, and we're finally gonna get the earth back in its fullness, man. You know, after these damn devils are put into chains and captivity, man, as they should be, man. You know, because their pride is gone out, man. If you see what's going on in the earth, man, you know, Edomites are losing their pride in America, man. You know, and 9 times out of 10, it was mostly you mostly see all the Edomites, man, prideful. America, the best, the strongest country. Now everybody saying, I don't know, Trump, I don't know. You know, now you seeing half of the Edomites are disagreeing with Trump, are blinking, you know, are looking into how Trump moves, man. You know, and we believe that Trump is going to be the guy, man, because Trump, you know, if you know, Trump isn't really for the people, man. He's moving with the elites, man. You know, and the elites, they're trying to fulfill that NWO, man. You know, but as soon as the mark of the beast is implemented, because we're already in Jacob's trouble, but as soon as the mark of the beast is implemented, man, any day Yahweh Shai can show up, man, and that's why we gotta be on our watch, man. That's why we gotta make sure that we are right with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which goes for myself and foremost, man. You know, we're almost at the finish line, brother, man. You know, and some of us been running the race longer than others, man. But listen, we're working for the same penny, man. We're working for the same penny, man. You know, and we gotta push through, man. Cause just because you've been in this thing for a short amount of years doesn't mean It doesn't mean it's not gonna be hard for you, man. You know, you know. Just because you think that you been laboring and stuff for a short amount of years, compared to the apostles, man. Don't think it's gonna be easy, man. A easy path for you, man. You know. I can say it just gets harder from there, man. But with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, nothing's impossible, man. You know, just think about when the three holy children, man, uh, uh, Mishael, Azarias, and I forgot the other one. But when they went into that fire, man, you know, when they went into that fire, man, they asked Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to have mercy on them, man, and to protect them, basically, you know. And what happened, man? An angel came down and covered their body with moist, and it felt like a thrust from wind, man, you know. And they walked out that furnace, man, untouched, clothes unburnt, man. I'm pretty sure not even their bottom of their shoes was crisp, man, you know. And that's the power that we serve, brothers. We serve a power not from this world, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai isn't from this world. He's from the heavens, man. He's from above, man. We're from below. We're from below, man. We get sick, being out in the cold too long. We get sick, not walking around outside without no damn shoes on, man. Brothers, we can get burnt, we can get stabbed, but in the heavens, man, it's no possibilities, man. There's angels that has what 12 wings, the cherubims, and a whole bunch of eyes on them, man, which we can't imagine, man, but Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, he's from above, and we're from below, man. And Yahweh Shai, he's gonna come back from above, man. And you really think these damn devils gonna put hands on them, on the Most High Son, man? You think these damn devils are even gonna touch his son, man? Are gonna do any harm to him, man? You think the angels are gonna let this damn devil lay hands on Yahweh Shai, man? Hell no, man. They're coming. They're coming back for war, man. And the angels are gonna protect Yahweh Shai with every ounce in their body, man. So they're not gonna let these damn devils overtake Yahweh Shai, man. Especially if Michael's coming back too. The armies, the heavenly host armies is coming back, man. To do away with these damn devils. And that just shows you how prideful these damn devils are, man. From them being below, thinking that they're gonna fight against supernatural power from above, man. If Yahweh Shai wanted to, he could already take these damn devils out without even touching them, man. But he's gonna show his power by coming physically here to showcase his power, man. To showcase the fathership, to showcase his inheritance that Yahweh Shai and Yahweh has given him, man. The authority and the rank that Yahweh has given Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai is gonna showcase his inheritance on the planet Earth, man. And none is gonna object or try to subdue him, man. But this goes to show you that the elites, man, they're smart, but they're stupid at the same time, man. Because they really think that they're gonna try to fight against Yahweh Shai, man. They really think they're gonna fight against him and win, man. You know, you see all these games and stuff where they it's the army fighting against and movies, man. The army fighting against the UFOs, the chariots, man. You know, and they're winning. You know, they took one chariot out, man. You know, and it's a whole bunch of bullshit, man. In reality, you know that you know they use witchcraft, man, to get the people up and going, man. Because these peons out here, they really think they're gonna win it, you know, when the time comes, see, which they gonna call Yahweh Shai and the angels aliens, man, and whatnot. But you know, they really think that they're gonna fucking you know, excuse my language, they really think that they're gonna win against the angels, man. You know, and they're gonna take one angel out, man. Even though they even said it themselves, they took one UFO out, man, which is a whole bunch of bull crap, man. Cause ain't no way. You know, it's impossible, man. You know, if they don't even have the power to keep themselves from that nuclear destruction, you know, how much more when Yahweh Shai shows up with the angels, man. You know, which shows you that these damn devils, man, they don't have no damn clue what they're doing, man. You know, and Yahweh Shai is gonna they got a court date coming up, man. You know, when Yahweh Shai gets here is when their court date will start to take commence, man. You know, as they might put us in court and persecute us, you know, which it says is gonna happen. They're gonna get persecuted, man. By who? By Yahweh Shai, man. You know, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. He's gonna persecute them, you know. And their day is coming. Their court date is coming, man. So they can persecute us. They can put us in court, you know. But just know that when Yahweh Shai shows up, man, there's not gonna be no resistance or trying to persuade, man. You know. And when I say resistance, it's to where it's not really gonna be resistance. Yeah, they might try to fight Yahweh Shai, but they're not gonna win, man. You know, they're not gonna resist Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai's prophecy, man. You know, they're not gonna resist them from going in. You know, Shalak. I'm going off. You know, but as I was trying to say, that they're not gonna upset prophecy, man. You know, so Salak, they're gonna resist. They're gonna try to resist, man, but they're not gonna upset prophecy. They're not gonna overtake Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and upset prophecy, man. You know, but I just wanted to bring that out. You know, Salak for that. You know, but I'd like to give all praises and glory that goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Yahweh Kodash, double in honors that goes to the elders at GMS who's pushing this truth without truth and sincerity. Shalom to you Akim and you Aqua, you know, around in the four corners of the earth.